So let's move on
Okay.
to the Patriots and Bills. This one was a much closer game. Although the Patriots, I feel like for the most part, were in front. Seemed like they kind of had a handle on this game. Were making life very difficult for Josh Allen and that offense for the Buffalo Bills. They did score a couple late touchdowns, some bad tackling on Stephon Diggs. But Mac Jones had his moment, drove down the field, maybe the best offensive day of the season for the Patriots, and certainly maybe the highlight drive of the season there to win this one.
Definitely. I think it was the most balanced we saw the Patriots look. It's the best they moved the ball consistently all year throughout a game, 4 quarters, right? I mean, yeah, Mac Jones was sharp. They had a run game to depend on to a degree. At least it wasn't so like, every time we run the ball is 0 yards. At least there was something there to build off of and keep the Bills' defense honest. So that was important, definitely. The defense played really good. Okay, that was another important or impressive thing about the game. And, there they were, even with all that and all these positives, you go, oh, my gosh, Kendrick Bourne fumbles, right? And the Bills are going to win this football game and do that. I know it's Bill Belichick's 300th win as a head coach, right? Only George Halas and Don Shula, and we should talk about them a lot, and they did a really good job. But I still think the story of this game is what is Buffalo? What is Buffalo? It just seems like if Buffalo doesn't, have just this crazy home energy, sometimes their defense doesn't seem to fly around or make plays. They didn't really pressure Mac Jones a whole lot today. He found completions consistently throughout.
He was 25 of 30 for an 83% completion percentage.
I mean, so like what like the Bills got issues. And then we go back to the other side of the ball. I mean, what did the Patriots do today? It's the same thing we've talked about the 2 weeks before. Limit the crazy plays by Allen, which, he's going to make a few. Limit them. I mean, balls that travel deep down the field for huge pass plays, they didn't happen very much in this football game, if ever, right? So there they are. And the big thing is just then what is the other answer for the Buffalo Bills if it's just not Josh Allen doing like unbelievable things? And I have that concern, let alone, they're a little banged up, the Bills on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're a totally different football team to where you go, I know they can survive, but are they going to survive to the point where they're barely going to get in the playoffs? Are they going to be able to survive here and still get a home playoff game? I don't know. I think it's a very fair question. And as I stand here right now, I think it's kind of a toss-up or a coin flip there.
After the first game of the season, felt great about my Bills pick to not make the playoffs. After that, felt terrible
right.
about it.
Now you're feeling
feel
pretty
better,
good, right?
It's a roller coaster.
It is a roller
here.
coaster.
4Niners701 says, damn okay, Bill Belichick. What a game plan that was today. And that will lead us to Inside the Numbers, powered by AWS. Let's take a look at Josh Allen's passing chart. You've already talked about this, alluded to this. Did you see more of the same of what teams have done to kind of contain Josh Allen? Looking at his passing chart here, what maybe did the Patriots force him to do that contained him?
It looked like, and again, this is where the film will come in handy, but it looked like they were like, no, you're not going to throw 40-yard lasers down the middle of the football field. If you want to be patient and take the checkdowns and do all that, which is what a lot of these are. They're kind of like checkdowns. Like, hey, I'm looking for a 15 or 20-yard pass. I'm looking for the 30-yard pass. Nothing's there. That's where I get into, I feel like they need to get an unbelievable variety of the short passing game and live there for a little bit. They have moments where they can be surgical, but then it's like Ken Dorsey gets a little impatient and he's like, all right, let's take a shot down the field here. And then you go, it's second and 10. Then they run the ball. And then it's 3rd and 10. And then they go, well, let's take another shot. It's 3rd and 10. Let's just see if we can make magic. And they go, oh, now they're off kilter. They're punting the ball. Here we go. They lose their patience with it. I've given up on trying to think they're going to run the ball consistently throughout the game, right? But, yeah, I think it was the same type of thing. Not that Allen is harassed, but Allen couldn't find the lanes in between the tackles where he goes and runs for a 15-yard gain, or like we see him run between the tackles and he attacks the line of scrimmage, right? And then just as you think he's about to get to the line of scrimmage and turn it on and run, he throws a ball like 15 or 20 yards down the field.
Yeah.
None of that's going on. And that's the Bills' offense, and that's just not acceptable, and I don't know what they're going to do to fix that. But it was hard work for the Bills' offense all game long, once again. Other than the 5-play, 75-yard drive that made it 22-17, everything other than that was work for them constantly throughout the day. And too much, as we always say, is just on Josh Allen's shoulders. And I think everybody is starting to see that now as you watch them on a consistent basis.
So what do you make of this stat?
Yeah.
And maybe it's kind of related to what you've already talked about with Josh Allen. He averaged his longest time to throw in a game this season, 3.26 seconds. So when he did that, he struggled when he had to hold on to the ball. 10 of 24, 130 yards, an interception when it was over 2.5 seconds.
Because they're still calling plays downfield, and Bill Belichick is going, we're playing downfield. You ain't going to – it's not going to be there, right? He never had much pressure. Even the Giants game, there was moments. Remember, we talked about it. It was 3- and 4-man rushes. It was just don't let them run. Don't let up the big play downfield. The week before against Jacksonville, it was the same thing.
And some of those pressure numbers are – not representative of what's happening in the game because the pressures are because he's holding onto the ball. And eventually they'll get there.
Exactly right. The pressures more times than not are coverage sacks, and they're going, we're okay with you sitting there doing that because we got Diggs covered deep. And now if you want to check it down to – a Gabe Davis or one of your tight ends, that people are willing to live with that. They're going to go, okay, fine. We'll let you have Dalton Kincaid for 6 or 7 here, and then he might get a few more yards every now and then, but we're not going to let you throw the howitzer down the middle of the field. So, again, that's where I don't think teams are being careful about blitzing him because they don't – when you blitz him, he makes one guy miss, he's around the edge, he runs, he makes magic happen, or you have man-to-man down the field. So teams are starting to go – them like it's like pin our ears back and let's go kill the quarterback. Let's just, like we talked about, not pass him, keep our eyes on him, and let him sit back there and pat the ball and see if somebody can get open. And again, I just don't know if there's enough firepower down the football field or any of that, even in those scenarios. Okay, now I'm sitting here for 5 or 6 seconds, right? And people are moving around. Diggs is the only one in there that you're worried about.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis is not going to separate and do that when that happens. He's not like I'll run back and help you in the scramble drill or do any of that. So, yeah, they got their work cut out from them. And as it stands right now, we look like we were more right than wrong to start the year.
So this is all good and well. There's a little bit of a blueprint on how you handle Josh Allen. But as we often say and you point out, is like some teams can do that, other teams cannot do that.
Yeah.
Is this something that other teams will be able to do with Josh Allen and the Bills in their current form on offense?
Yeah, I think this is one that every team can replicate to a degree. I do. Yeah. This is one that you don't have to have like incredible talent to figure this one out. And I think also with the fact that 3 teams in a row did it and caused them so much problems.
Yeah.
People go back. The first thing they do is watch the 4 previous games. They're going to look at the 3 previous games and go, well, wait, one thing's in common. He wasn't throwing the ball 50 yards down the field, and he wasn't running around making magical plays. The Buccaneers next week, certainly will be able to do that. The Cincinnati Bengals the week after that, certainly will be able to do that. They got the Broncos. We know they're not a good defense. That could be a different game. But then it's the Jets and the Eagles and the Chiefs the 3 weeks after that. Yeah, we've already seen the Jets do that. We know the Eagles and Chiefs will be able to do that. So, yeah, that's why I'm worried about Buffalo. And like I've been saying, they need to find another element in their offense. There's got to be something else that they're making teams defend. It can't just be 17 throwing lasers, run around the edge and throw another laser. And then if that's not there, run and be our leading rusher too, right? The whole game is on him. I'm sick of it. They need to fix it.
All right. That was Inside the Numbers and a rant by Chris Simms, kind of all together, powered by AWS. I do want to give credit again, tip of the hat. You mentioned it, 300 wins for Bill Belichick. Has been under the microscope this year. A little bit more in the last year, too.
Yeah.
And after the game, they asked him about it, and he goes, well, it was great.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I'm focused on it right now. I got to worry about this team right now. I'll say this. Of course, he's one of the greatest coaches of all time.
One of?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's the greatest coach of all time.
Okay.
Definitely. I just was being broad there.
Yeah.
I do think he has a great appreciation. His respect for George Halas and Don Shula and people like that.
It means a lot to him.
It means a lot to him. It'd be one of those, when the season's over and he can think about it, he'll stick his chest out and go, damn, I did do a pretty good job. But, yeah, they got an uphill battle right now. He is the ultimate not going to let celebration creep into his mind when they're sitting there at, what are they, 2-5 now? Yeah. That ain't going to happen there in New England. He's certainly not happy But congratulations to him. Seriously. I mean, he's a special football coach. Yo, what up, homies? Thanks for watching. Remember, subscribe to Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Right now, we got Sunday pod, right? So you can have it Monday morning. We recap all the action. Wednesday, it's the What the Happened podcast. We're going to get deep in the weeds on the key matchups of the week. And then Thursday, I'm picking games with that jerk Florio. So you know where to find us, homies. Keep watching. Peace out. We'll see you.